Hello and welcome to the Locker Room and Voice of the People TV, your go-to spot for all the juiciest football talk and breakdowns. And I'm your host, Jerry Ampeliohai. And today, we've got a power-packed episode for you. In the first half, we'll be diving into the big shockers from the Super Eagles squad as we reveal the real reasons why key players like Sarah Dessers, Maduka Okoye, Frank Onyeka, Gabriel Osho, and Fisayo Dele Bashiru didn't make the cut from four, talking about the World Cup qualifiers. What went wrong? Is it form, tactics, or something else? We'll break it all down. Then hold on to your seats as we discuss how a transformed PSG made a massive statement by ousting Liverpool from the Champions League in one of the most thrilling matchups of the season. Joining me in the studio today are the always insightful Ikechukwu and Mayowa to expect the hottest takes and deep analysis. And of course, this is one show you don't want to miss out on. And don't forget, it's a conversational program. You also get to call in via the studio line, talking about the WhatsApp number. You can call us. And of course, you also drop your comments on the comment section on YouTube and on Facebook. We'll be able to take your comments as the show progresses. And don't forget to hit that like button. And of course, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. We always make sure you're giving the best of the best as far as sports and of course football is concerned. Ikechukwu, it seems like since last night, I know you did not sleep. You've been doing Awoko, preparing for this day. It is what it is. Liverpool is out of the Champions League. How do you feel?
Well, Jerry, good evening. It's a very good day to talk football. Yeah. A lot happened last night. Interesting game. One of the best Champions League matches I've seen in I think over a decade. Last time I saw.
Yeah, you've not been watching Champions League.
No, the last time I saw.
Man United fan. How many Champions League games will you watch? So it's the
last time I
over a decade.
No. The last time I saw a game this trailing was the Barcelona and Bayern Munich game that ended 3-0. The Pep Guardiola and Luis Enrique game.
You didn't see the Liverpool Barcelona game. Then.
Nah, that game wasn't that thrilling. Yes.
Okay, you didn't see the Liverpool Roma game then.
Nah, that's not actually.
You didn't see the Madrid Liverpool and Luis Carlos.
All of these games are all of these games are not on the same level with this particular game and that particular game. So yeah, it was a very very big game and football won. The best team won, and like they say, Anfield has fallen, and it's a very good day. Last night felt like a day before Christmas. I kept calling you and your number wasn't reachable.
No, I was available. We were on group chats. Don't even scam me. Don't scam our viewers. We're on group chats. You were busy trolling me here and there. So don't call me and say you're calling me. I will expose you. So he was trolling me all on the WhatsApp group.
I was calling you. You were not picking.
I was available on the WhatsApp group. Somebody was available on the WhatsApp group.
Your WhatsApp number
I was available.
Your WhatsApp number was...
I was available till about 12 midnight.
I called your phone.
You didn't call me.
I called your normal call. And your phone was switched off. That number was in another phone.
No. That's totally false. Absolutely.
Is it possible
false.
or not?
It's not possible.
To have your WhatsApp number in another phone.
On my own case, it's not possible. That's a false allegation.
How many phones do you have?
I don't need to have multiple phones.
How many phones do you have?
I don't need to come here and start giving my biography. But the fact that yesterday we were on the same group chat,
but let me ask
there was no possibility that you wanted to reach me. I was not available.
Let me ask you, how you feel?
I feel good. I feel good because
two down.
What's
two trophies down?
What's 2 trophies down?
The FA Cup and the Champions League.
I've never been interested in the FA Cup.
Okay, but at least this one. So we have 2 to go.
We all knew that Liverpool's chance of winning the Champions League was very slim. Of course.
You're going to
win. Maybe Man United has a chance of winning it. You have a chance of winning the Premier League.
The Premier League?
Let's never go there. That conversation go long. Anyway, Mayowa joins us virtually. And it's great to have you join us on Locker Room, Mayowa.
Well, it's always amazing to be here. I never thought the day will come. Jerry cannot go back and forth with banter. It seems prophetic.
No, I read you.
This one right.
I full ground. I don't run. No. Obano, they go transfer.
I mean, you are a big Liverpool fan.
My were two down.
I mean,
what happened yesterday?
My were two down. 2 trophies down.
What happened yesterday?
FA Cup and the Champions League down.
No, the thing is that
I told you he's going to win 1 trophy this season.
The thing is that it would have been a fairy tale if Liverpool wins the Champions League and it's slot for a season. So the guy has punched above his belt and he has done excellently well. I'm proud of him.
Is this about an onslaught now?
Yes.
About the Liverpool team?
It's about an slot.
Yeah. Okay, it's about an onslaught.
Yeah, he has punched
nobody has argued.
Yeah, he has punched above his weight in his first season.
Nobody has argued that.
In a team that relies virtually on one player, which is Mohamed Salah, to get the goals. And I think he has done excellently well. And
nobody is saying he has done bad.
No, everybody is excited that they left the Champions League, especially you.
No, we are saying
those who are playing Europa League, those who are even badly relegation, they are showing excitement.
No,
Arsenal, they are the ones celebrating well.
I agree with you.
As if they've told Arsenal that they are going to win Champions League.
I agree with you on one part, and it is that yes.
You need to see the way Arsenal fans are celebrating.
No, I agree with you on the fact that
loss.
Your team is actually a good team. You lost to a better team.
Yeah.
You know, and even though
better experienced manager.
Even though you didn't show this PSG side a lot of respect when the fixtures came out.
Yeah, I didn't really see them as that thing because I was not convinced with the results they had against Brest.
Because it's Brest.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
And we also saw that they could not bamboozle Liverpool with that 10-0 aggregate scoreline.
When I saw the way they played Manchester City, was when I knew.
And you know they came through the playoffs.
That's what I said. Okay. That's why I said when I saw their game against Man City.
I was not convinced. I was not convinced. Man City. Why? Because Man City was struggling already.
Yes, but it's one thing to struggle. It's another thing to play against a side and then see the strength of that side. PSG showed that they've got a very, very good team. And that was my emphasis. I wasn't even talking about the
yeah, I'll wait to judge this PSG when they meet a team like Real Madrid.
So if they lose to Real Madrid, they are not a good side because you beat Real Madrid.
No, I would like to see the way they will play.
Okay, how they will turn up.
Yes.
This is how they've always turned up.
Yes, would they be able to turn up this way against Real?
That's how they've always turned up. That's what I'm saying.
No, the thing is that every team has a pattern that works for them. If we were to be Jurgen Klopp, it would have been difficult for them to really match up this tempo that they did in the first and second leg because Liverpool almost played the same tempo in terms of they're always on your face, game pressing. But I think Slot is more or less like the easygoing, trying to as much as possible conserve and counter. He's more or less a counter-attacking coach.
Jerry.
Anyway, let's not go into the analysis of that. We'll get to that because we'll have to start off with a big story as far as the first half of the show is concerned. We're talking about the final list of 23 players called up to the team of the senior national team of Nigeria for their World Cup qualifiers, which was made public by the Nigerian Football Federation. Head coach of the Nigerian team, Eric Chell, pruned the provisional list of 39 players to 23 and make some really huge calls by dropping some players expected by many to be in the team. It was gathered from a backroom staff that certain parameters were used in picking the team, and it played a huge role in the decision that saw some players being axed. And in some cases, those who have been doing well for their respective teams in Europe, we gathered that Sir Desas, who has 22 goals for Scottish side Rangers, was left out due to the fact that the coach prefers a younger player in Tolu Arokodare to be the fourth choice striker of the team, other than a 30-year-old who has 6 caps and 2 goals for Nigeria. Okay, that's the case of Ralph, talking about Sir Desas. Okay, what about this against Umaro Sadiq? How old is Umaro Sadiq? Is it 22? Is it 23? Okay, that's another big question. And of course, Udinese goalkeeper Maduka Okoye was left out as he only recently returned from a wrist injury that has kept him out since last year and needs to be fully fit before getting involved with the team. That means Redesas did not follow up that he's back and he's playing well for Udinese. Okay, that's the case of And of course, it is the same with Fisayo Dele-Bashiru of fellow Serie A side Lazio. Okay, we all know that he's been struggling with injury of late. That could be understandable. Ikechukwu, with all of these excuses for leaving out these players, what do you think?
Well, for me, the first thing is this, right? Yes, so I think a caller called yesterday and was making a case for Maduka Okoye that he actually was on goal.
Yeah.
In a couple of games.
The guy from Manchester.
Yes. Now, the thing is this, right? Maduka Okoye is yet to prove that Nigeria can trust him. Let's not even start,
He was not going to start.
No, he's yet to prove. I mean, he's gotten opportunities to be our number one. Right. And we saw how he actually squandered those opportunities. In the last, I think our last qualifier, he was actually on goal, in goal for the Super Eagles.
I think against Rwanda, it was the on goal. We considered two, right?
Yes, I think Rwanda was our last game in Uyo, and it was a disaster class.
Yeah, he considered two goals.
Again, so these sort of things will not make Nigeria trust. Yes, you may want to argue that yes, he's playing at a higher level and all that. Yeah. Truth be told, and to be very fair with people who are actually saying they should have invited him. The truth is, he's doing very well with his club.
Yeah.
But there's a problem of you putting on the Super Eagles jersey and not turning up the same way. I mean, I cannot trust you if you cannot deliver. Okay, it's against Bankole, right? A lot of persons are also making claim that Bankole should not have gotten the invite. It's a big question. Because, of course, Bankole is actually the second choice goalkeeper to Sergio Basa, who is the third choice goalkeeper for the Republic of Benin. Right. These are conversations we can have. Do we have a better goalkeeper in the league that would have replaced Bankole? Again, we have goalkeepers that are actually number one in their club, and they can actually have replaced him. But then, these are the reasons why a lot of persons are actually pointing loopholes in the particular list. For Fisayo, yes, we can understand that Fisayo is still very much struggling. Another question is the tank, Frank Onyeka against Alassane Yusuf. I don't know how Erichel arrived at that conclusion. For every indices, ball driving, ball winning, helping the team to actually mop up defense, Frank Onyeka has shown that he's a better player than Alassane Yusuf for the Super Eagles. Club level, he's playing in Germany against a player who moved to the MLS. Look at the disparity in the league, the strength of the league. It tells you that Frank Onyeka is at the highest, playing at a higher level. So why are you inviting a player playing in the MLS as against a Frank Onyeka? Again, it gives credence to people who are saying this list has a coloration of quota system. Again, for the attackers, Siri Deza, Tolu Arokodare. I don't have issues inviting Arokodare. I don't have issues. I mean, these are opportunities for young players to actually be part of the team, to learn, even if it's just to sit on the bench, right? Ronaldo Alima was part of the 1994 World Cup in USA, America won. He was not a key player. Kaká was part of the 2002 Brazilian national team that went to 2002 World Cup that they won. Even though he managed to just play, I think about 20 minutes in the entire time, he learned. We can have conversation about young players being part of the party. But then, why will you leave a player that is in a very good shape and pick players that are actually struggling to find their form or just starting to get their feet? I don't have issues with Sadiq Omar. But if push comes to shove, at this stage, we will always want to fancy Serideza first before Sadiq Omar. I like Sadiq Omar, personally. But then, this is where a lot of questions of quota system will always come in. Again, Uche Santos, why will you leave him out in the midfield? So all of these conversations makes it easy for people who are making the argument of quota system or no quota system, or the coach doesn't really know the players, people actually pick the team for him. All of these things made it easy for them.
There were other reasons why players like Frank Onyeka was left out. According to the report, Frank Onyeka was left out because he prefers midfielders who are possession-minded footballers, because he likes possession football, and decided to go with Papa Daniel Mustafa and talking about Alassane Yusuf as against Frank Onyeka. And the case of Gabriel Osho, he picked talking about the Ogbu guy who plays in the Czech League because he's a ball-playing defender. Osho, to him, is not a ball-playing defender. For Chris Santos Uche, it was largely due to the fact that he has played more as a striker at Getafe than a midfielder. That is why I decided to exclude him. Forgetting that if Alex Iwobi doesn't show up, we're going to have problem on players who can support the attack. That means we'll not have players who can feed the attack. And that has always been the problem with the Eagles. I don't know whether Hassan Yusuf will be able to do that, except maybe for Frank Onyeka, which is quite understandable. He's been doing that very well for Club Brugge.
Well, the thing is, it's very simple. I think the coach knows what he wants, and that's the reason why he had decided to go with the team he went with. I look at that particular list, and I have a problem with a couple of players showing up on that particular list. I understand the fact that Gabriel Osho, you remember the last two games we played in the Nations Cup qualifier, Gabriel Osho was part of that particular game, and he had a disastrous outing. And for me personally, I've said it, Gabriel Osho is not the kind of player that we need at this moment. That is not the kind of player we need. For the MLS guy, I think that's Alassane Yusuf. I do not understand the reason why Alassane Yusuf, is part of the party. I don't understand the reason why he's part of the party. I do not understand it. There are better quality players that will be able to, take his place based on where they play. But in any case, the coach knows the reason why he's going with that particular set of lineup. Also, I don't understand the reason why Seri Dessel is not part of that team. I don't understand the reason why. It doesn't make any logical sense to me. Seri Dessel played in Europe, and he has had good numbers for Rangers in Europe. Those are the kind of quality we need in the national team. I would have preferred a Seri Dessel over a Victor Boniface that we have given multiple chances and he has not been able to deliver. For Aroko Dare has been scoring goals with reckless abandon. Yes, he might not be part of the team. But for me, Seri Dessel has played for Nigeria before. He has scored for Nigeria. Boniface has played over 7-8 games for Nigeria and he's yet to find the back of the net. Even an assist he doesn't have. And I don't understand the reason why he's making the team. But in any case, I want to allude to what Ikechukwu said. I don't think the coach fully understands the player. Some of the names we are seeing on the list were picked by people he felt knows those players. And that's just the honest truth. By the time we begin to play, by the time we go for the next round of qualifier after this one in March, by that time, I believe we will begin to see the coach's choice. The players HL has understudied, the players HL, has studied to be able to fit into his team. At the moment, I just want to believe that he partly picked some of the players that he knows because of their popularity and because of where they play, while some of those that made the team were sourced from the technical guys that he will rely on for this particular match. But in any case, he's the coach, he has picked the team. We just have to support them, and we only have to hope that the team delivers, because any mess up, we are not going to the World Cup.
All right, let's take a look at players who shouldn't have made the cut for this team. Chelsea picked 3 goalkeepers, 6 defenders, 6 midfielders, and 8 forwards in his final list of players. Definitely, he was bold enough to make some big decisions, top of which is the decision not to name the captain of the team, Ahmed Musa, in his final list after listing the Kano Pillars captain in his preliminary squad. However, a look at this list showed that at least 5 players shouldn't have been in the list ahead of some players who have done enough at club level to be given a chance with the team for both games. His decision to pick Remo Star second choice goalkeeper Kayode Bankole ahead of Adebayo Adeleye of Cyprus side, talking about Paralimni, is a shocker because Bankole is second choice to the third choice goalkeeper of Benin Republic, Sergio Obasa. Okay, assuming the decision to leave with the least shortstop is based on the fact that he only recently returned from a wrist injury, what can they now say about the rationale behind leaving out Adeleye, who has been voted the player of the month in Cyprus side, more than 5 man of the match awards playing in the Cyprus League? Another head scratcher is the omission of Frank Onyeka, who is on loan to Bundesliga side Augsburg from Brentford. Alassane Yusuf of MLS side New England Revolution was picked in his place despite the fact that the new MLS season is just 3 weeks old. That means he's still fresh.
Very fresh.
Sir Desas, who has 19 goals this season, was left out with the duo of Umar Sadiq and Tolu Arokodare preferred ahead of him. One would have expected the coach to pick one of the duo, preferably Sadiq alongside Desas or Desas alongside Tolu as a reward for his performance this season. Although it's hard to argue against the decision to pick Igor Ogbu due to the fact that he has been consistent for the past 2 years for Czech Republic side Slavia Praha. One can, however, debate the exclusion of Gabriel Osho of League One side in favor of his selection. Osho played in the last 2 games of the team in the African Cup of Nations qualifier and hasn't missed a game in the League One side when he had a knock or suspended. But the biggest one has to be Papa Daniel of Niger Tornadoes. It's another controversial inclusion, picked ahead of Uche Crisantos, who definitely also did very well against Atletico Madrid just this last weekend. Although it can be said that he was picked as a replacement for the injured Fisayo Dele Bashiru of Lazio, Papa, however, hasn't played a minute of competitive football in the last 5 weeks in the Nigerian Premier Football League, as he has been away in Europe where he's searching for a club to join. So on what grounds was he picked? I know you're a caller of the league. League players.
No, see,
Yeah.
right. As much as I will always maintain my stance as someone who actually wants to see our league players be part of the setup, right? It does not mean I will also support impunity like this. It does not mean I will support a player who hasn't played football actively for a couple of months to be part of the setup. It does not mean I will support a player who, they feel he should be part of the setup because they are actually trying to make up quota system or the numbers to reflect federal character. This is football. This is not, all sort of. We don't need all these bureaucratic, political jargons to create a team. What I'm saying is simple. Does he have quality? Papa Daniel, yes. I mean, nobody would doubt the quality of Papa Daniel in the league. But the big question is, do we need these sort of players in our system, in our national team? These are the kind of questions. We have players. See, I always.
Which kind of players are you talking about? If we need.
What I'm saying is,
okay.
Do we need players of his quality to be part of the Super Eagles national team? Yes, we do need players. But do we need a player who is not active, irrespective of his quality?
That's a very dangerous.
That's a very big one, right? Now, when we're talking about the 39-man list coming up, we're looking at possibilities and number of players that should be part of this. We mentioned something very important. I think you remember when we were talking about the kind of players that we're expecting to see.
Yeah.
And we talked about one of our emphasis was on the CHAN list. We want to see players from that group come. And we mentioned a certain Gabriel and this other boy, Ifa Kunle, that plays for I think it's Ikorodu City or so. So yeah. Those players, we're expecting to see some of them, even if it's just to make the preliminary list. Let them have the sense of, okay, you know what? Yes, we've now acknowledged you guys as part of the team. And then if their quality is good enough, let them make the 23-man list. But then it's not the case. We didn't see them. Yes, the ones that we've seen, we don't need to start seeing a player with question mark like this in the Super Eagles setup. A player that is yet to be a full international base player, having this sort of privilege. What will happen if he becomes a player playing for Manchester United? It's going to give us the Onana problem when he will decide to arrive to the camp of the Super Eagles the day we'll be playing our first game in a major championship like Nations Cup. That's a very big problem.
Mayowa, what do you think? It's good to say we should invite the league players, but we should not do wuru to the answer. If Papa Daniel has not been active because he's looking for a club side in Europe for the past 5 weeks, that's unfair to players like Uche Crisantos, who has even come out to dismiss a false report where they were saying that he asked to be excused from the team. There was already a rumor that he said he didn't want to be a part of the team, but the man has come out to say that all that were all lies.
Well, the thing is, it's very simple. We have consistently said it on this particular show that we want players that play regularly to feature for the national team.
Yeah.
How does a third-choice goalkeeper that doesn't play, how does he make the national team? How does a player that has not kicked football in the last 5 weeks, make it to the final list? When the professional list came out the other time, we had an Ahmed Musa on that particular list. We had a Wilfred Ndidi, we had an Ian Nacho in that particular list, and we clamored and said we don't want players that are sitting down on the bench, players that are not playing regularly. And the same thing has happened now. The case of Tanimu is repeating itself again. I said something earlier. Majority of the players you have on this particular list, I can bet it with you, were not picked by Erichel. These were picked by people that Erichel feels will be able to provide him with the names. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think Erichel knows all these players. It's a clear example, the player that is sitting down on the bench, that is a third choice. How did Erichel see him play to justify being included in the national team? The simple answer is this. Somebody in the NFF, somebody in the technical department that has a vested interest in some of these players, picked them, chose them for HL, that this is the best you can go with, and HL decided to go with it. To be honest, I can bet it with you, the first 11 that will start, probably maybe those are the people that HL has watched play. Majority of those that made the team were picked by somebody just for them to be in the national team. My only concern now is this. I hope a case of Tanimu does not repeat itself again. And I will not blame HL for going with the list and just so that HL came in late. NFF appointed him late. I'll put the blame on the NFF. They appointed him late. He has little or no time to understudy those players, to be able to assemble them. He will need to rely on information on those that have been on ground before he came, and that is the result we are seeing now. I think after this qualifier, by the next round of qualifier, that is when I'll begin to judge the list I'm seeing based off of HL's knowledge. At the moment, I want to believe majority of the players picked, because of how they were picked from people that were available before a check came. And this does not serve our football right. If you have been put in a position to do something for the national team, I think you should do it with all integrity. What is a goalkeeper that is playing as a third choice? What is the person doing in our national team? What is Alassane Yusuf, the MLS guy that just played 3 weeks? What is he doing on the list when we have players that have played for over 20 weeks in Europe? They are not making the team. This does not make any logical sense. And I hope the technical committee, they can go back and backtrack. And I mean, because they have been given this opportunity and this privilege to pick the players, they need to do better. These are not the kind of players we want to see. This robs off of people who are putting in the work. I mean, how do you explain a goalkeeper that is keeping regularly for Cyprus, that has been winning man of the match, that has been winning player of the team for a while, not making the team, and somebody who is sitting down on the bench in Nigeria here, who is not even playing, is making the team? It does not make any sense. And I think the technical department, they need to do better.
Yeah, I think one thing I may want to see here is that there's something that tells me that the technical committee did not really do their own work. Meaning the fact that some people push their slot and they did not go out to find out whether this certain player who we are not seeing regularly is playing actively, or if he is a first choice. Because even the Bankole guy was not even part of the Chan Eagles. I don't know how that name just popped up, and somehow it seems like somebody charmed Eric Chell to pick him, and he said, okay, Bankole, anyway, he's not going to start. Let me just put him there. And somebody wants to sell him. An agent wants to sell him so that a club side will come and pick him, because there's something you need, a coefficient you need to play for the Super Eagles, whether you're on the bench or not, to get signed, maybe in a Tanimu club side. I don't know. Maybe another Tanimu agent is working. True.
Jerry, this is very sad. Going to a crucial double header for the Super Eagles. I don't know how this sort of things happen. Perhaps the permutation is, well, he might not get to be part of the game, but then what happens if your first two choice goalkeeper sustains injury? Who says it can't happen? We'll be left with a man who is not considered the first, second, third choice of the Chan Eagles. Man, that's a very big question. Again, right? I look at all of these things and I just start laughing. It goes back to what I was saying. It is not on the players this time around. It's absolutely not on the players. The case of Papadania we're talking about, he's been in Europe in search of club instead of getting himself busy and getting himself to work. It is not on Papadania to be invited. It is on the people who actually did the job. it is obvious that Eric Shell does not know anything about the Super Eagles. Or he's not ready to actually do the right thing. I don't want to say it's both in this case because I have to wait until I see him on the pitch. Now, does these players, this is where I'm going to actually cut him some slack. Does these players picked, do they have what it takes to actually be part of his team, the way he actually line up the team? Perhaps they do. But would their quality be enough to actually help him succeed? Because it's one thing to actually come into a new dressing room as a manager, right? Who wants to succeed? It's another thing to actually get the right element. I'll tell you this, in as much as I agree that Arne Slot is a brilliant manager, he has shown that he's not tactically deficient. But we also must give the credit of this Liverpool season to Jurgen Klopp. He is the man who built this team that we are seeing today. And yes, the team suits the style of play of Arne Slot, who has been able to actually manage the team properly going forward. If before this guy came, it was the latter day of the Wijnaldum, the Henderson, that this guy came, he would have not succeeded this much because he would have been left with the mantle of searching for his own players to actually build this team. Going back to Eric Shell as a man, stepping into the Super Eagles team, looking at the way he plays, I don't know if these players will actually give him the right result. But where I'm actually going to rest my back is on the fact that, okay, perhaps these opponents we are going to be playing against in Africa at this point are really not a heavyweight. So it's going to be easy for him to actually use this opportunity to see the players and test his player. Because I know after these first two games, the next set of players that will execute the next set of games will actually be different. It is definite. So let's see what happens between Rwanda and Zimbabwe. Again, people actually see pressuring for him to add one or two players. Let's see if that's still possible.
Yeah, my only worry is that when we go into those games and for instance, we are in a situation where we have injuries to some of the starters of the team. If we look at the bench, we might be looking at players who are not good enough.
True.
Who might not meet the standard. Who does not have anything special to offer the team. Imagine there's an injury to, God forbid, Victor Osimhen. We'll have to rely and pray that players like Victor Boniface show up. Players like Omar Sadiq show up. Tolu Arokodare may have what it takes to play for the national team. You see how difficult that situation already is.
Very, very difficult.
So I just wish Rachel all the best, though I don't envy him at the moment because we all know how long it took to get a coach for the Super Eagles after two home-based coaches tried their best. But of course, it's a shame to the technical department if they cannot advise a coach on the best players to pick in the interest of the Super Eagles qualifying for the World Cup from a very difficult situation. All right, we already have a caller calling us via the WhatsApp platform. It's an open platform. We see your comments on the comment section. We'll take them as much as we can. Okay, our first caller. Hello, great to have you.
Good morning. This is Tauri from Chicago.
All right, Tauri, it's great to have you.
Yeah. I mean, I've been listening to you guys for like almost 30 minutes right now.
Okay.
I got everything what you guys are saying, but you know what? I want us to look at it this way. If you guys remember, eras of West Half.
Yes.
Era of West Half. I have a Suleiman Abdullahi, who is playing for stationary stores that time. He's making the team ahead of Egwuatu that they are in Europe then, with a lot of professionals that we had that time. That's number one. Number two, Precious Moe. I think he's playing for maybe Eagles Med or Port Harcourt or whatever at that time. Before he moved to Germany. That's when he began getting calls from the Super Eagles then. There are a lot of them like that. Okay. There's a lot of them like that. And then they are making their ways into the Super Eagles with a lot of professionals that we had that time. I remember Isaac Semitoje too. He was playing for Iwanya or something. That time, okay, let me leave that aside. Let's look at this Papa Daniel. He went for job. But if you go to Europe to go and look for job, you are not went there to go and play ball. I mean, to go and play. You went there to go and do your job. It's part of job that is practicing week in, week out. That's why he stay when I saw the news this morning, before you guys have started talking about this, I've been reading the news with somewhere else. I was like, okay, Nigeria, we already started again. It doesn't mean somebody. I mean, I wasn't happy with the Christian Church that is not make the list. Neither him and what the name of this striker, Kolawole, Bissell or whatever. This out. Yeah, but you know what? I mean, to be honest with you, for almost like a 2 or 3, 4 years or 5 years in Nigeria, they are bringing leagues that be like this. I think I'm happy. You know why?
Okay.
Because Ahmed Musa, he was supposed to be there. Everybody that's pushing the Eric Shea. And then don't forget, Eric Shea was traveling around since when he come back. Even when he come back from Europe to go and check anybody who went for. He's been traveling around to go and look for Nigerian. I mean, to go and watch Nigerian league. I mean, let's just back them. Let's pray for them. I mean, this will happen. This, I mean, there's even they bring everybody that we want. We must complain. Let's just back the team, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we are backing the team. Yes, I agree with you, Taurich, definitely, and bringing out a lot of the facts. Yes, if you invite local players, it's good, but the players should deserve it. Because he made mention of the players who were benchy players in Europe because they deserve it. They were playing actively. We were seeing them in the league. I think the league then was even more watched than it is today. Because I don't know why it's a rocket science where we should have our league on TV. We continue to say this years on in 2025. We are begging that the league should be shown on TV. It's a shame. It's a shame to those who run the league. It's a shame to NFF. It's a shame to even the government itself and all those who own the various club sites. Because what does it cost to set up a TV channel? Even small club sites in small countries, they are club side owned TV channels. Yeah. You could see. Let me tell you how bad it is as far as the league is concerned. That is the only time they mention the league, I just somehow shake my head. A league club will call a journalist and say, "Oh, I want you to manage my media." A journalist who is upcoming, they will not give you camera. They will not give you anything welfare, but they expect you to do magic. You open the channel with your sweat, you'll be doing everything, and they'll be giving you tips as if you are begging. How do you expect the guy to be motivated? How do you expect to have quality? And the person will be shooting with an Android phone that is, that is not even good enough. And this thing is very, very simple because if you take a look at this club side, had it been maybe Remo Stars, I will give it to them, and some few clubs I will understand the business angle of it. If your team has a good TV channel, you can easily sell your players.
True.
You don't need to beg agents. When they are seeing them regularly and they are giving them constant promotion, when the league is well promoted, we have the talent.
True.
And when they invest in this league, I'm telling you, the government will benefit so much from having the league. You know why? You take a lot of people off the street. Because you're not talking only about the footballers, the media, the promotion, everything. You are going to be employing a lot of people and taking a lot of youth out of the talk about being unemployed. Do you know how many people the league in England employs and feed? So, I don't know, but it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Anyway, let's talk about where it's really happening the way it's supposed to be. Talking about the UEFA Champions League. Liverpool manager and his slot hailed the Champions League clash against Paris Saint-Germain as the best game of football he has ever experienced, despite his team losing 4-1 on penalties after a 1-1 aggregate tie. And of course, this is to the excitement of those who are already calling me out on the YouTube chat platform, saying David is one of them. I'm not surprised. This one is an Hotel Manchester United fan. Hello, we have another caller calling us. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good evening. This is Abe calling from Manchester United Kingdom.
Okay, Abe from Manchester. Go ahead.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. And you? Hope you're good.
Yeah, not too bad. Just a quick question. If we don't win these two matches coming up next week and 2 weeks' time, who's going to take the blame? Is it NFF or Eric Chell? Just a question.
NFF. NFF will take the blame, not Eric Chell.
So nobody will blame Eric Chell for this, yeah?
No, definitely not. I will not blame Eric Chell.
But okay, From your side, you will not put blame on Eric Chell
At all.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, but why did Eric Chell allow NFF to impose players on him? Because to me, it's like NFF imposed some players on Eric Chell, and he allowed them to do that. Based on what I know about Eric Chell, he's a no-nonsense man. He doesn't allow any FA to impose players on him. That is exactly what happened in Mali, according to what I heard. So, but why did he allow them to impose some players on him? Because, I mean, it's glaring that some players were imposed on Eric Chell, and he accepted them. Why?
This is Nigeria. Even if God even if an angel come here.
Let me tell you, the Super Eagles NFF is like an occurrence.
See,
you know what's happening in the Senate where somebody will come accuse the Senate president and they'll just give you hammer. Jerry, that's how it is. See, even the best of coaches.
Even if Ejie Gabriel comes to manage our affair, he will bow.
So basically, the system, guys, basically the system will continue this way. The corruption will never stop. Then that means there's no way we're going to enjoy our football. Our football is gone.
No, it's not.
It's done and dusted.
It's a battle between good and evil. Because let's not also forget.
So who's going to win?
Who's going to win?
The
greater good will win.
The evil, yeah, exactly. Because the evil have the upper hand. Yeah. They've got the upper hand.
Felix, right? Felix. See, let's remember in 2013, the reason why that team succeeded was because Stephen Keshi was able to get the support of the presidency.
Okay.
And that is why.
Same thing with Western Off.
Yes, I remember
back then. Yes.
They have to get the support of somebody who is bigger, who saw the bigger picture. For him to include players of his own choice, that is why you see that those teams succeeded. And until we have such a system, unfortunately, we just make do with what we have.
So how long should we wait to have a president?
That's the question I cannot answer.
Who is a footballer?
And I don't even think I don't think Asiwaju is interested in football. He doesn't look like someone that give a F about football. Asiwaju doesn't care about football. Whatever you like, you do.
Right now. Anyway, it is.
My brother, this thing is painful. This thing I'm asking you guys is painful. To be honest with you, because I remember back then during the Western Off and Bonfrey Joe, I know how big we were in football, especially in the world. We were rated among the top teams in the world, especially after the 1994 World Cup. Now look at what we are going through now. We have been relegated to the background. We are nowhere to be found.
It is sad.
Imagine Nigeria will not qualify for next year World Cup. It's a big shame. Look at the group we were seated in, and we could not win one match. Even at home, we struggled to play against Lesotho. It's a big shame. And NFF should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Peace, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, take care. Okay. I know anytime I talk Nigerian football, I get emotional. But let's leave that. Let's talk about where things are doing done well. Let's talk about Champions League because Liverpool are out eventually, and of course we said football.
As it should be.
Football won, and the coach said that this is the best game he has played. Where did Liverpool get it wrong?
I'm not going to say they got it wrong anywhere.
Okay.
I would just, to be very fair with Arnold, they lost to a superior team.
Superior team.
A superior team. We might have the conversation of pair-to-pair, quality one-on-one, that's different. But a superior team, they lost to a superior team. Yeah. They lost to a manager who is superior to their manager. Yeah. They lost to a player who appear more hungrier than the Liverpool boys. They did their best, absolute best. They gave everything on the pitch, and that was why they have a very thin scoreline that proved that it was a very close game.
Okay.
But of course, Liverpool had a goalkeeper in Alisson, who has got about 5 hands, who actually helped Liverpool to keep the scoreline decent. But then that again proved that Liverpool as a team. See, if Liverpool had made it past PSG. I would have been rooting for them, believing that these guys, I don't think there's anything apart from Barcelona. That's still my bet. Barcelona and PSG this time around.
You see Lamine Yamal's goal.
I said Barcelona and PSG are both the teams that I've seen
Mayowa,
that they have what it takes to go the way.
Mayowa, when I saw Lamine Yamal's goal, I said, oh, I wish this guy plays for the Super Eagles. Or Liverpool can just even buy him. Mayowa, what happened last night to Liverpool and Arne Slot? All right, we understand that Mayowa is out with Liverpool.
You just have to lick your wound. You lost a good side.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Mayowa, you're back. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Well, I think Luis Enrique taught Arne Slot football lesson, and that's what happened. I mean, PSG outplayed Liverpool. If not for Alisson in that particular game, I think PSG, that game would have gone to extra time. Alisson showed up again and he was counted. However, it shows experience really counts. This is a coach that has won the Champions League before, and he had classed Arne Slot. But in any case, Liverpool has given a good account of themselves. But my biggest fear is this: as Salah lost the Ballon d'Or yesterday, that is the big question on my mind.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. We also saw the games last night. Barcelona, quite a Champions League game. They taught Benfica football lesson last night, and I think they're one of the candidates to look out for as far as the Champions League this season is concerned.
Barcelona, PSG, Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. I don't know. These guys seem to be, peer made in heaven. Both left-footed, and they have been doing so well. I don't know what Hansi Flick has done to this Barcelona side. I mean, a good number of the players are actually very young. Look at Rafinha moving from Leeds United at battle relegation to become a global star and a top Ballon d'Or candidate as we speak. I mean, this guy is having a season of his life, chasing Lionel Messi's record. I mean, enough cannot be said about this Barcelona side. For me, I still maintain it is PSG, Barcelona. Any side that is able to actually dismantle or take out these two sides is definitely going to win the Champions League. But I don't think any side, it's going to be very difficult for either of them not to win the Champions League.
All right. Okay, Mayowa, which team are you going to put your money on at this stage? All right. Okay, you've already put your money on PSG, Barcelona. Okay, but talking about tonight, the Madrid derby second leg at the Wanda Metropolitano.
It's going to be tough, but I think Madrid might just edge them. There's something about Madrid and Champions League. Even though this is a very difficult game, Wanda Metropolitano is a very difficult place to go. But then, with what we saw yesterday and the fact that Madrid won the first leg, Anfield fell, a ground that is known to be very notorious to its visitor. It's not going to be far-fetched to actually see Real Madrid get a good result in this particular game, even if they don't end up winning it. But I think Madrid have actually sealed the qualifying ticket.
All right, Madrid sealing the qualifying ticket. That's a big one. Okay, you're not giving Atletico Madrid any chance.
Well, yes, they have a chance, but then it's 60-40 at this point.
60-40. Mayowa, I don't know if you can take us on that. Okay, it's not back yet. There are also other games to look forward to tonight as far as the Champions League is concerned. But you've already put your money on Barcelona, PSG. They've already played their own. They are through to the knockout stages. Okay, what next for Liverpool?
Liverpool, I mean, just gets the League Cup over the weekend and against Newcastle. I don't know how soon Konate and the likes will come back, because of the knock they had in that particular game. But then if they are able to, be part of the party, to be very good for Liverpool. But if they are not, Liverpool just need to put their heads right and get that particular trophy, and then just stay composed all through the season and seal up the league title.
All right, of course. I see all your comments on the Facebook platform. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button as you're dropping your comments. And of course, you've heard it. We talked about Liverpool. I hope those hotel guys like Silva and Co, they're excited now. They're happy. Yeah, the best football team won. Yeah, of course. Like on the slot said, they say luck ran out on Liverpool. On Liverpool. All right, big thanks to the guys behind the scene talking about the likes of Victor, Alex, Ikechukwu, and Paul, and of course Silva for making sure the show is great. My name is Jerry Apelaisen. Stay safe, and if not 20 at all, it's the Sport Show.